new fun reality competition series, as they call it in the television world, on NBC. It premiered last Thursday, airs every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on NBC. And the host of the show joins us here live in the Rich Eisen Show studio, Miss Gabrielle Reece. Good to see you, Gabby.
Sir.
How have you been?
Good. I was just saying, noting, I mean, you know, we did our niceties, but now as I'm really looking at you, you're looking very healthy.
I look fit? Do I look fit and trim?
What's going on? Yeah.
Well, you know what? I only know one speed.
Off or on?
Gabby, and I'm rising and grinding.
Is that it?
Every day here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Your wife is finally being an influence on you, is what you're saying? Susie's finally getting you.
You know too much about my personal life, yes. But so let's just get right to it, because you trained Susie for a summer or two, I think, and she's like, you got to come up and do this workout.
But you can't blame it all on me.
Well, no, and then I mean, you threw me in a pool with a weighted vest, Gabby. I mean, that actually happened, and I thought to myself, this is a reality competition series a little bit above my.
That's called
abilities.
fun in our house. We do that to the kids all the time.
Just because Laird Hamilton could do it doesn't mean I can't, you know?
I think you did great. You were very gung-ho and game, and so, you know, and you made it. Look, you're here.
Look at me now. Look at me now.
One time, Reggie Miller came over to do pool training, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, brother, you know, I mean, short of saying like crazy white people, basically. And
yeah.
He goes, you know, I was ready for you to try to drown me or Laird, but not at the time your 8-year-old daughter. You know, so it's just, we're showing you love if you come over.
Well, no, but you and your family only know one speed yourself. So like, and you're a perfect host for a show like this.
Am I?
You are. No, you are. You are a perfect show host for a show like this. It's trainers.
Yes, I relate to the trainers.
Right. The trainers
but
are
I understand what the women are dealing with, because I have 3 daughters, and like every person, but even women, I think.
So what are the women dealing with?
The calibration.
That are in this competition show.
Well, okay, so you have quite a few of them. The majority are either have families or single moms, work, professions. So it's that constant calibration we all talk about, how to get everything done, figure out school lunch, dinner, and, oh yeah, figure out how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And then some younger women that I think have entered into the world and said, you know what, I haven't found my voice yet. I want to kind of give it a go.
Right.
And so you have those two things. But I think what happens a lot of times with all of us in life, you know, you kind of 10, 15 years down the road and you look up and you go, maybe I'm just a little off where I see who I am. Because, you know, we have roles, right? You're a dad, a husband, all these things. But at the end of the day, you're also just a person. And I think for these women, they want to connect with that person inside themselves.
So you hook them up with a trainer, figuratively, although I haven't seen the full season yet.
A lot of these people are married. We don't have too much dating. We did have one group, the 2 single trainee and trainer, but I don't think anything ever. There was unders and overs.
Just friends. They're just friends.
There was unders and overs going all around the set, but I don't think anything ever happened.
Nothing ever happened. No, well, maybe let's just say something might to keep people interested.
Oh, I think there was breakup drama.
That's it. Yes, exactly. Because that's the reality of the competition right here.
Listen, the competition is hard enough. There's tears and what have you, because making that decision, that commitment's difficult.
Right, so. But the trainers are very competitive too. They want to win this thing. And so there's the male-female dynamic with the competition that's played out. I mean, it's
and then the silverback male dynamic, where one trainer's like, you're going to go in the elimination tower and one not. And the other thing I really think is great is all the trainers do it sort of differently, their modalities of training. So if you're sitting at home and you go, well, I'm not really a big fan of that kind of training, but that over there, that kind of looks interesting.
Right.
So I think also they all do it so different and train their trainees that way. So when you see, you go, I wonder how that guy's training is going to work out in the competition.
Who's the best athlete you think in sports today that you see when you're just watching some games?
The best
like you're like,
athlete?
that guy looks fit, or that female looks, that
oh my goodness.
That gal looks fit.
That's a great question.
Thank you. That's what I do for a living when I'm not, you know, getting in shape for the show.
I see you.
Gabby, thank you.
Trying to keep up 3 children and your wife.
Look at me. Who do you want? You're watching an NBA playoff game? You're watching a football game?
Yeah, you know what it is? Sometimes I look at also athletes that are on the fringe that kind of do a bunch of different stuff.
Okay.
You know, like, so obviously NBA guys and NFL. I mean, I'm always in awe of NFL guys who are, you know, 150 pounds heavier than me and could beat me down, you know, any 50-yard
in a race or something like that?
Yeah, so obviously those guys are superhuman. I think there's some kind of radical rock climbers, believe it or not.
Sure. Look at you.
Their tinsel strength,
You
if you
go
will.
rock climber on me.
Well, no,
Not
I'm
like
just
LeBron.
saying.
Not that LeBron is
That's very
chiseling himself
obvious.
right now.
He's what?
He's chiseling himself right now.
Chiseling for what?
Well, I don't know.
What does that mean, chiseling?
Well, I mean, he's for his championships. He's taken selfies and videos of himself working out without a shirt on and stuff like that.
Well, of course he's fit. He should be fit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a genetic freak,
Yeah.
and it's his job.
Okay. So,
I haven't answered you. I'm going to think about it.
That's okay.
Because
You're
I want it to be meaningful.
Right. In the meet. So what was?
This woman is this woman flying around here? Look at her up there.
You know. So with
Yeah.
your college career, you were at Florida State, correct?
Florida State.
The best
Seminoles.
athlete at Florida State at the time was who? You or who?
Or some guy. What was his name?
His name was Deion Sanders,
Prime,
right? So what was he like back in college?
He was.
Deion.
You
What was he
know,
like?
he was probably how he is now, which is he understood in a way there was two sides. He was a character. Primetime was clearly a character, and everyone could be like, wow, love to love him, love to hate him. But it was effective. I used to do Say No to Drug Talks with him. We go to Godby High School. And he had a car. I didn't have a car. And he'd pick me up and he'd go, okay, Gab, you know. And we'd go there. And literally, his whole persona would shift once we got out of the car. The walk was a little different. The whole thing happened. And so Deion's quite a clever, quite a loyal, great guy.
He is. I totally agree with you. And I do believe here on the Rich Eisen Show, is Deion from Texas on the phone right now?
Deion from Texas is on.
Prime, are you there?
Yeah.
You there, Deion? Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, hi, Dee.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Dee. How are you?
Excellent.
So what car were you driving Gabrielle Reece around in?
I know what it is.
Look, go ahead, Gabby. Tell it.
It was a black convertible Chrysler.
LeBerry.
Yes, I knew it.
Yep. Chrysler LeBerry.
Let me tell you, that
Hey, Rich, with a phone.
that's like 1988. And by the way,
Yeah.
that was cool. It was like the doctor's phone.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was legal. What?
Yeah. I had a phone, Rich.
Now, what do you mean you had a phone in the
No
car?
one had a phone in their car in '88.
That's right. You didn't.
Gordon Gekko and you, I think. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of a kind right there. Let me tell you. Dee, how's your body feeling?
I'm getting better. Old, but I'm getting better.
All right.
So what
Yeah.
world was it like being around?
Me being around him or
Yeah.
him being around me?
No,
Both.
let me tell you about being around
Please,
Daddy.
Deion.
Okay,
Please,
Rich,
please, Deion. Yes. tell me.
right.
Okay, Rich. 6'3", beautiful, breathtaking
thank you,
model. True story. I was at a basketball game, and Florida State was okay. They wasn't that good.
Okay.
Gabby came from up top, walking down to like a lower level seat, and I'm not lying to you. I could swear the point guard stopped dribbling, and both teams just watched it, walking all the way down until she sat down. It's like the game stopped.
Stopped action.
Yeah, and she used to always wear these appropriate but short skirts to accentuate those long legs. And she, had hair flowing like milk and honey. It was unbelievable. So you can imagine her walking across the college campus. People would just run to see her walk across campus.
Sure, indeed.
But as beautiful as she was and still is, everyone loved her. Her teammates loved her. The people at school, she was very well liked and appreciated, and she worked her butt off as well.
And now what about Deion? Now give me the
Are you
description of
kidding?
Deion now.
Well, Dee walked on water at our school. And listen, the thing I always say, and I brought this up earlier, is his loyalty. So one was chess, verbal chess. And the beautiful thing about him is he would dialogue everybody all week long, and then come the game time, right in the moment, he would always deliver. And so, and how hard he would work at practice, because that's the stuff you don't see, right? So so his teammates respected him fully because they're like, hey, he delivers in the game.
Yeah.
He works hard in practice, and he's a lot of fun.
Prime, this is great. I just, because I know that you guys go very,
Wait.
very well back.
Dee, though,
Yeah.
do you want to talk to him about your sock situation?
No, I don't.
Now hold on a minute. Do we want to talk about this?
And it's not what you think.
Okay.
Not what you think.
It's not what you think.
You got a dirty mind, Rick.
I'm just
No.
saying that possibly there have been people in the history of time that were very fast that maybe didn't have the most robust Polynesian-style calves that you've ever
Right.
seen. So it's
Right.
possible certain athletes
We stuffed it.
Layer 'em.
It's possible that they were stuffed.
layer it up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's possible that there were multiple socks. It's possible.
You padded your
This is-
calves?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yes. From
It's
from
possible
from
that
what
there's
I
multiple.
what I
yeah.
heard is from what I heard at school that the socks were not needed for anything else, but for the calves maybe.
For the calf support.
That's right.
Prime. This is. So you were enhancing your calves? You were a calf enhancer?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
There was even a
insecure in
rumor of
that
a
area.
pump. Calf.
I was very insecure in that area. But I grew to appreciate it because I was invited to the Kentucky Derby once, and every horse I seen
That's
didn't
right.
have the calf.
See? So, and you are a thoroughbred, D. So you know
Thoroughbred.
you're good to go.
Yeah.
So I've learned a couple of things from this conversation. You, Gabrielle Reece, have stopped basketball traffic.
I guess so.
Okay.
Apparently.
And you, Deion Sanders,
school traffic.
and you, Deion Sanders, you don't have an Achilles heel. You have an Achilles calf.
True. True.
But still,
But
even now,
she is I'm not lying to you, Rich. This is an unbelievable person. She's an unbelievable human being. And beauty is one thing, but the heart has to match. So in her heart exceeds her beauty. That's who she really is, off camera, on camera, behind the scenes, through pressurized moments, everything. That's who she is. And you got to understand the life she lived. I mean, to be modeling in New York, a Ford model, and you're going to college as well? Like, come on, man. That's who does that in college?
Well, Prime, I knew you'd want to call in, and I knew you'd want to hear from him.
D, you know I love you, D.
Yeah, I love you too.
I love you.
True.
D.
Back at you, Prime. Thanks for calling.
Now, back to my humble host.
Thank you, sir. Miss you.
All right, buddy.
See you soon. That's
Bye,
Deion
D.
Sanders.
Feel
There you
good.
go. There you go. So, like, this is your life. We're done. We're not going to surprise you then. Right?
I've known him almost 29 years.
I love that. So, a black Chrysler LeBaron convertible, driven by Deion Sanders. You're riding shotgun.
And that was like, he had the full gold
Oh,
chain.
yeah.
But you know what? Again, so smart. And he said to me, I'll tell you another story.
Sure.
He said,
Actually, let's take a break and we'll
okay.
come back. Okay.
All right.
Let's take 60 seconds. We're back in 60 ticks of the clock. Some more good times with Gabrielle Reece. And then your phone calls before we say get out of Dodge. Aisha Tyler in this spot tomorrow. She'll be here in this very spot tomorrow. But we're back with more with Gabrielle Reece
great.
of Strong on NBC.
What's with the running logo? I like that. What's going on?
I run my 40-yard dash in my suit every year at the
right,
combine.
that's right, that's
yeah,
right.
that's why I was training with you in the pool.
Yeah, of course.
Years ago.
And it probably helped you.
Again, I almost died in that pool.
And your dog was there. Do you
My
remember?
Hudson. Hudson's 13. He's going strong,
It was
too.
a family affair.
It was that. Strong on NBC, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights with Gabrielle Reece, who's here in the show. I know I said that we would not go down memory lane anymore
That's okay.
after that.
I go down any Deion memory.
There you go. And then so you've got...
You have another one?
I got a tweet from somebody named Thomas Jacobson. I used to mow the grass at the Butch Harmon School where Gabrielle used to practice her golf swing. Wondered if she remembered me. Do you remember the guy who mowed the lawn there?
Maybe vaguely. Hi.
Okay, Thomas tried. He tried.
Thomas?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that technique.
Nothing runs like Thomas Jacobson
That's
on the
right.
deer, essentially, is what you're saying.
That's
So what was
right.
your Deion story you were about to tell before going to break?
No, I just remember reading, one time he was reading the paper, and, you know, obviously people were very critical of him because he was flamboyant.
Of course.
And people,
It's still, by the way, it's still going 30 years later.
And so he said to me something to the effect of, yeah, well, there's a lot of people better than me and a lot badder than me, meaning, you know.
Yeah, right.
But who's going to go higher in the draft? And he's like, so who's the dummy now?
Look.
And I used to think there was something to be said for somebody who knew, as long as they knew, and maybe a couple people close to them knew, they were okay.
He's one of my favorite people I've ever met. And here's a story I'd like to tell about Prime when he first got to NFL Network. And, you know, there's the primetime persona, right?
Yeah, sure.
He shows up, and it was me, him, and Steve Mariucci getting together for the first ever highlight show on Sunday nights in the history of the NFL Network. And Mariucci was just starting out, and he was very soft-spoken to start. And he was just getting his television sea legs under him, and Deion is Deion.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I've done, at that
You've been
point in
doing
time,
it.
like, you're right.
You can say I'm good. And I was the most experienced best guy, but
Well,
okay.
I'm damn fine, as you pointed out when you first sat down. But at any rate, so I remember Deion took aside the producers and said, because Deion was put in the middle, I was on the right, and Mariucci was on the left. And Deion said, we need to put Mooch in the middle and me on the left, because of the energy that I've got and that Rich has, and Steve's getting. He said that Steve's going to get lost on the end.
Keep him inside.
First thing he said after doing one show.
Yep.
Because you'd think, well, it's Deion Sanders. It's all about me. It's all about the spotlight. I'm going to take the spotlight.
Yeah.
When you talk about loyalty and best teammate,
but that's
no doubt about it.
And I think too, sometimes people realize, or I find sometimes when people are long-term thinking people, you realize that if you can, do it the right way and cultivate those relationships, you'll be doing it for a long time.
Right.
If you're short-sighted and be like, I'm going to suck all the air out of the room and get mine, the clock's ticking on that. So the other side of that is he's lovely, but he's very smart.
I've got Gabby Reece here on the Rich Eisen Show. I know you and your husband Laird are people who are obviously deep into the cleanliness of the ocean and the waters.
Yes.
And that's a passion for you and obviously your husband as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about what the Olympics coming up in Rio and the water and what all folks who are taking part in all of these ocean sports and water sports might have to get into. And what you're hearing about that, what you think about it, you and your husband think about that.
I think, we've been obviously involved with Clean Ocean for over 20 years plus, and, the plastics and all of the things. And I guess for me, and I'm a meat eater, I'll even tell you this, but they say even just, from what cows are emitting and all of this, like there's certain things we can do, like, so we've tried to cut back eating meat so often.
To save the ocean?
Well, it's all connected.
Sure.
The pollution and all of it is, I mean, the joke is we're 3 billion overload on the planet. So basically half of us, there's just too many of us.
Sure.
But I think, moving into the future now, people are a lot more conscious because now we don't have a choice to get involved. So it'll be interesting to see people who will really notice it are the ones who get in the environment. So for example, like water sports, they're going to be, surfing an exhibition it is, right?
Well, the question is would you participate in it? Would you say
in the water?
Would you
well,
not?
I'm not a water athlete.
Oh, I know that. I'm just throwing that out there as a hypothetical.
Meaning what?
Would you, if you're an athlete that has to get in the water, go and compete, or just say I'm not going to try and point out what the heck's going on?
I think it would be tricky to ask an athlete that who trains for, 3 years, 10 months, or whatever it is, dedicates their life for it. In a way, in some ways, you have more impact if you get involved and then say, I had this experience, this is what it was, we really need to get involved, especially if you have the opportunity to perform well. Because just protesting, then it ends there. But if you can get involved and stay involved, then there's ways to make an impact. But it's an ongoing thing and it's a serious thing.
It is.
Even if the water temperature rises half a degree, the impact it has on our planet is stunning.
Gabrielle Reece, host of Strong on NBC. Thank you for coming on this show.
And keep going. You and Susie, you guys are rocking right now.
What can I tell you? The three kids keep us working there. How often is Sly Stallone on the set? Did you see him at all?
He came a few times, absolutely, certainly.
He's the executive. But
if I was Sly Stallone, would I come Monday through Friday? I wouldn't hit that clock. I'd be like, yo, hey. How's it going? Yo.
That's right.
No, and it's great. And, for me, he's represented the notion of being strong and even a comeback kid. I mean, Rocky
Come on now, Rocky.
is the ultimate underdog. And these women, they start like that and they don't finish like that.
Right.
Every one of them has made a real, not only significant physical change, but when you look in their eyes, their confidence and just how they feel good about themselves. That's everything. And I think we misconstrue, like Deion saying, oh, they're insides. But it's true. If people sort of say first, hey, I feel good about myself, people pick up on that and they go, wow, she looks good. And you may not look different, but you just might be, emoting like, I feel good.
Thanks for coming in. You're the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You going to come to the pool again?
Are you inviting me?
You have an open invitation. You can bring the dog.
Is that infernal weight vest still in the mix here, or can I just bring a noodle? Can I just swim around in a noodle?
We'll liberate you from the vest. We've got other stuff. We've improved
What other
it.
stuff?
No,
Like-
we've improved it. It's
like,
better.
Like stocks and bonds, you're going to put me in there? I mean,
It's better.
just throw me in with a stone? Okay. Thanks for coming on.
Great seeing you.
At Gabby Reece on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.